People are always amazed and amused whenever I tell them that I did not enter academia to be an academic, but that I consciously and purposefully positioned myself in academia because I inherently understood and knew that the injustices we face stem from the falsities and miseducation perpetuated within and across institutions, books, and media that do not reflect the reality of my people and the diversity of our cosmic existence. And so, as an educator and creator, I have always used my embodied wisdom, my power, and my lived experiences, my truth, to enhance the lives I've been trusted with, my student teachers. As I tell my students, it is one thing to be educated and another thing to be empowered. You have a lot of people walking around with a lot of talent, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, but they do not know how to cultivate and harness their power, and as a dreadful consequence, end up depressed or upsetting, disrupting the lives of others. Knowledge without consciousness and wisdom is futile, is dead. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. I use my power, therefore, to empower and my light to enlighten in an environment of learning that is honest, communal, and compassionate. In this way, I teach what I live, and I live what I teach. Who I am and what I do are inseparable. During the 1940s, Black Quaker and civil rights movement activist Bayard Rustin coined and popularized the phrase, speaking truth to power, calling upon the disenfranchised populace to courageously speak out against injustices and challenge those in positions of political power to do the right thing. I am here today because I want to convey that there's a marked and fundamental distinction between power and control. Control is the suppression and silencing of power. In the long history of humanity, oppressors have abused and manipulated power to dispossess and ultimately disempower those they wish to control for personal gain, usually through force, pillage, and deception. And so I want to make this clear, and I need you to listen in the event that you were not listening before. Those who are in the business of distorting power for their political and economic benefit are not interested in hearing or promoting the truth. And I'll say that again. Those who are in the business of distorting power for their own political and economic benefit are not interested in hearing or promoting the truth. Not when their lives are predicated on lies and alternative facts and delusions of grandeur and fabrications of supremacy. Now let's talk about power. African-American novelist Alice Walker once said, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any." Power is intrinsic. It is in all of us. It has always been and will always be, rooted in the consciousness and sensibilities of self and community, embedded in our DNA, the stories of the ancestors, our cultural and innovative expressions in the ether and earth. By its very nature, power is generative, expansive, and dynamic. Unlike control, power circulates, it moves, distributes, and redistributes itself. It permeates matter and non-matter. Power is energy, and energy matters. As humans, we are physical manifestations of power, divine energy. To stifle, hoard, or deny power is recipe for disaster. Repressed energy and emotions implode and explode eventually. They fester and erupt. In the words of Langston Hughes, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore, and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? In the realm of spirit and science, sacred science, we are guided to channel earth and ground power to sustain equity and harmony on our planet. Power requires love, recognition, and prudence. Power requires us to speak truth into ourselves and each other. As dear friend and living legend, 90-year-old Val Grey-Ward says, as we go into ourselves, we come to ourselves naturally. Power invigorates, transforms, and liberates. Whenever I say that I'm speaking truth to power, I'm speaking to you. Let us cede and not concede our power. Thank you, and I love you.